In today's episode, we are going to dive deep into the 4 things that you might be doing right now that are stopping you from scaling your business to the next level. These are probably blind spots that you have that are preventing you from having the level of growth and traction that you desire in your business, especially if you are in the info product space, you are selling an expertise, you are selling a product. Maybe you've packaged your knowledge into a framework through a coaching program, a mastermind, an online course, whatever the case may be, you sell your expertise, right? And you've come to that. No, I won't really say plateau, but you're in a place where you feel like you can do so much more, whether that's in terms of your lead quality, your number of clients that you are getting per month, your level of impact, how much profit you keep after all of the marketing expenses are removed, and you're just wondering, okay, why am I stuck? And I want to share these things with you because over the past 5 years now, almost it's going to be 5 years in November, which is insane. I've worked really closely with business owner anywhere from the people in the 6-figure range to multiple 8-figure revenue per year in the business as a marketing consultant with the agency, really helping them get to the next level. And these are 4 core bottlenecks that we have to remove every single time before we help clients get to multiple 6-figure per month in the business and really scale to that 7-figure, 8-figure mark consistently in the business while keeping most of their profits and having just peace of mind around how they're scaling the business. Now, the very first thing is you have no acquisition channel. If you don't have a predictable way of getting clients and you just rely on luck, on a content going viral, on a past client referring you to a new business, you are literally shooting yourself in the foot because it's going to make it so much more harder and just stressful to grow your company because you have no clue where the next client is going to come from. Having acquisition channel, which means a way for people to discover your offer, discover your service, and actually reach out to you, ready, prime to work with you, is one of the biggest things that you want to have if you actually want to build a business that's profitable and that's actually peaceful. Gone should be the days where you just wake up and you are overwhelmed thinking about all of the different ways that you could get clients and you don't really know where to start, and you are like stuck in this circle of feast and famine where you know you don't really know what's going to happen. You don't really know how you're going to make the bills, or you don't know how you're going to make payroll because you're just scattered and you are doing too much and nothing that you're doing is predictable enough to actually get you traction. Because one of the biggest pitfall that business owner falling into is doing a lot of things and none of them and not being able to track what's actually getting traction in their business. So they will have a podcast, a YouTube channel, they will be on IG, right? And they will be spending so much time on their Facebook group. But at the end of the month, they still are wondering, okay, why am I not getting any client? I'm doing all of this work and I'm getting on this podcast or whatever, but I'm not really growing in terms of revenue. What the heck? You really want to have an acquisition channel that's predictable and that allows you to understand, okay, if I put this much effort, how much output am I going to get on the end of it? So you need to create a model that can be ideally what we do with the agency. We work with clients and we help them with building paid media infrastructure designed to for every single time they invest in their marketing, they can predictably make a certain level of revenue on the back end. And so, which leads me to the second piece, the second reason why you might be struggling to scale your company is actually you have no clear KPIs that you track to optimize your strategy. So if you have, let's say that you go from the person that doesn't have a channel to say, okay, Jolie, you know what? I've listened to the podcast and I've now have an acquisition channel for my business. Amazing. Now, the second question is, how do you track success? How do you measure success? What are some of the leading indicator and leading indicator that you want to look at to assess how well your strategy is currently performing and if it's time to tweak something? There's a time and place for the energetic and for the feelings when it comes to scaling your business and just trusting your gut instinct. But when it comes to scaling in a way that's profitable and that's predictable, you need to look at your numbers. You need to be clear on what KPIs to track consistently that are going to inform whether what you're doing is working or not. So if you are focusing on content, it might be things like how many views you're getting on your videos, how many shares, how many DMs are starting. I get it. How many DMs are starting from people watching your content, right? All of those elements, or how many leads you are getting from the content that you're publishing on your profile. All of those KPIs are things that you want to track if you're focusing on organic content, right? How many call schedule you have from your organic content, and which content is actually driving that growth. If you're focusing on paid ads, you want to understand, okay, what's my cost per acquisition? What's my cost per lead? What's my cost per call schedule, right? Those are really the leading indicator that you want to look at to understand, okay, this how my overall strategy is currently working. But even below that, you also want to think about cost per what's my cost per click, what's my click-through rate, right? All of those things are going to let you know how well your campaign is performing, what's my opt-in rate, and what's my video consumption rate when someone lands on my VSL page, what's my call schedule rate from application to call schedule, what's that percentage? All of those things, if you're having a webinar, what's the conversion of the webinar from cold people discovering the webinar to what's the retention, how many people actually convert on the back end. All of those things are key if you want to improve your strategy. So there's no point in trying to diversify your acquisition channel and trying to do a lot of things if the thing that you actually have going on is not converting at the highest level. I see one of the biggest pitfall which I see across the board when consulting and working with business owners is they try to do too much too soon, and literally bite more than they can chew. That's going to look like being on several platforms and just hoping that something is going to click, or being on running YouTube ad and running Facebook ad and running TikTok ad and running LinkedIn ad and have no clue. Like they haven't even gotten one platform to be profitable yet. They're trying a bunch of different things and they're just like, okay, let's just diversify our effort. That's not how you scale. That's really the fastest way to end up being extremely burnout, extremely frustrated, overwhelmed, and just hating your business because you feel like you're spending all of this time and you're putting all of this energy to something that's literally just a leaking bucket, right? So really getting clear on those KPIs and make sure that you're in a place where you have successful metric before you actually diversify. What we like to do when we run paid ads for our clients, before we go into a different platform, we like to be at least at a 2x, 3x ROI for 2 to 3 months on one platform before we have it diversify. The same for product. If you are running ads to promote a product and offer, we like to get the current offer profitable first before we add more onto the roster, because it doesn't make sense to have an offer, a funnel that you haven't gotten to a place that's profitable and just thinking that because you're going to add a different offer or there's a different funnel, it's going to, change things. You want to get to a place where you have success and you've optimized and you've tested for that offer, specifically the messaging, the targeting, the video, different marketing assets to a place where it's working before you get to the next level. That's just paramount. The third mistake, which is stopping you from scaling, is just constantly, I just touched on it a little bit, but it's constantly changing instead of getting better, right? So it's like, okay, having this shiny object syndrome where you've launched something, it has barely been up for a couple of weeks or a couple of days, sorry, and you're like, okay, let's change it. It doesn't work anymore. Or every single week, you want to try something different. You have that in shiny object syndrome where you want to try every single thing. You go to a mastermind, or you speak with your peer and they tell you about something that they're currently doing and you think, okay, because they've done it in a different vertical, let me also do it in my space. And the strategy has nothing to do with your initial plan. Staying focused and staying the course is one of the biggest things that you actually want to do as a business owner if you want to get traction. Just because you are doing more things doesn't mean that you're going to have more results or that you're going to get more traction. And I think as a business owner, most of us have ADHD, so we can do so many things. And we think, okay, you know what, let's just test it. Let's just try it. And as a result, you get spread too thin. You have your team that's super confused and they don't really know what they're doing. They're running around like headless chicken. And you're just sitting there wondering why you're not growing. And you see months go by and you're stuck at the same place. And the reason being is because you are just trying a bunch of things and not really taking the time to focus on one thing and making it perform at the highest level possible. So I think one of the biggest belief as a business owner that you want to have is that greatness take time, and you want to be patient with yourself and have the right expectations, because sometimes you might see someone that has achieved a certain level of revenue and you think, oh my god, they are that in that at that stage, I want to be just like them at the same level. But you have no idea what was required on their end to get to that level of income and impact and profit, right? And you just think that by throwing a bunch of things at the wall, you're gonna find miraculous magically something that's gonna stick, which is a recipe for burnout, frustration, and overwhelm. And it's actually the fastest way to start hating your business, because you feel like you are putting so much effort into something and there's no clear outcome. And you're just like, oh my God, why am I stuck at this level? Why can't I scale? Because you are spreading yourself too thin and you're not looking at the data to inform your next steps. And speaking of steps, the fourth pitfall that might stop you from scaling is actually not putting enough money behind your message, right? Is being afraid of being visible, is being afraid of putting money behind your message. And when I say putting money behind your message, it might look like, because I believe that time is more valuable than money. So this might look like being willing to create more ads so that your campaign can run and can be scaled faster. This might look like hiring someone that knows better in a specific area of your business that's going to come in and help you actually solve whatever bottleneck you have. It might look like carving out couple of hours a week to record content specifically designed to address objection that your prospect have as they go through your funnel, and have have that content that's put in strategic places. Like, we work our client through to really overcome objection and get your client prime to work with you. It might look like, recording a podcast episode or a YouTube video, really handling, frequently asked questions, sharing your story, what's your secret sauce and what makes your offer unique. All of those things are action that require you to invest money, they require you to invest time. And so your inability to carve out time and resources, money, to have your message in front of more people and be surrounded with a team of people that have done what you're trying to accomplish, it's actually keeping you stuck. Because just realistically, as the business owner, your job is not to be an expert at marketing. Of course, you've built your business to a level that it is right now because you know how to market, you know your offer, you know how to serve your client at the highest level. That's your area of expertise. That's what you do best. Now, at the pace at which things are changing, if you're not surrounding yourself with experts in a specific field that you want to get better at, chances are you might not get the results that you can actually get if you were surrounded properly, if you were taking the time to really be present, to really put yourself out there and really create content strategically with the purpose of having people see your offer. And this really, we've just gone through Alex Omozi launch, like his third book live launch, and I was just watching the event as it unfolded. And it's literally something that actually broke the history in the online marketing space, because he made over $100 million in less than 24 hours. And when you look at the result, it's quite impressive, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. But the level of investment and work required behind the scenes is just phenomenal, right? He literally recorded thousands of ads and spent multiple 6-figure, even 7-figure on marketing, on paid media, just to how this event happened, right? And not to talk about how many years it took. It took him 2 years to build and create to create and promote this book, right? And the results speak for themselves. He was able to make 9-figure in 24 hours. And so that's my invitation to you, my reminder to you, that no matter what you're selling, if you're in the info product space, one of the biggest things that you want to have in mind is having clear expectation and be willing to invest strategically. Keyword here, strategically. You don't want to just take reckless investment, but you want to invest strategically so that you can actually have your offer seen by the right audience at scale, so that on the back end, you can actually scale your profit, your income, your impact in a way that's predictable, that's profitable, and that's peaceful. So that's what I really wanted to share with you in this episode. If you got a question, let me know in the comment section below. If you're looking for someone to help you implement such system and acquisition channel in your business that's proven to help you grow in a way that's sustainable and that's profitable, hit us up, hit me up on IG at Jolie Dematio. That's where you can find me, or LinkedIn at Jolie Dematio, or you can go on our website at dragonconsulting.co and, fill out an application form, schedule a call to speak with me or someone in the team, and we'd love to learn more about your business and how we can help you get to the next level. That being said, thank you so much for tuning in. If you got value from this episode, make sure to leave us a review. It literally means the world to me whenever I read those positive reviews. So please send them. I will see you very soon in the next episode. Until then, keep growing, keep learning, and never stop scaling. Take care. Bye.